Saya tak tahu macam nak besarkan dah because it takes one page. Okay, so the scenario is, okay, I believe that most of you this semester taking subjects from Dr. Robia, right? Network management, what is it? Project management, right? Okay. So this is something similar to that. I mean the way you should organize the report. Sekejap saya tak berapa nampak the chat section. Okay. Okay, so now the scenario is the organization has received quite a few new contracts lately. Okay, we know that when we have the COVID-19 cases, the pandemic, so everybody is working from home. So when everybody is working from home, so basically it's a very important, you don't need to go to the office. So it's a very important for us to work and access resources from remotely. So because of the new pandemic, it has increased the need for teleworkers and workload outsourcing. So basically, you as a network administrator, you recognize that VPN must be incorporated as a part of your network strategy to support secure access by the teleworkers, employees and vendors of clients. So ini semua, all of this information is very important for you to answer. Okay, very important. So to prepare for implementation of the VPN on the network, you have to devise a VPN planning report to be presented to the head of your department. So you have to remember that previously there's no VPN. Now you want to propose to your boss that you want to implement VPN in the network, in your company's network. So first of all, for those who takes project management subject with Dr. Rabia, so you know that you need to select organization of your choice, right? So the same here. So for this report, you are to select organization of your choice from the following business sector. So see Appendix A. So this is Appendix A. So there is 8 sectors only restricted to these sectors. Cannot be all sectors lah because it's very hard for me to mark if you get random sectors. So I need to be prepared as well with your answer. Okay. So basically, you can only select one of the sector, maybe something that you are well versed with, like for example, university. Okay, university, you might ask, Madam, can it be polytechnic or can it be college? As long as it's a tertiary education. It is important for you to, like for example, university. You cannot say, this VPN planning is for university. Cannot. You must say, this is the college, or this is IPTA. This is university, private university with this bilangan, number of employees, number of students like this, because the number of employees, okay, the size of the organization will determine the size of the network and number of branch. Like for example, like UTM, we only have 1 branch now, right? But in other universities, like for example, UTM, they might have 3 branches, for example. Okay? So like community college, they may have branches all over Malaysia. So the solution will be different. Okay? So it's very important for you to choose your organization that you're familiar with. Like for example, clinic. Can you do VPN for UTM clinic? But UTM clinic has no branch. So why would you select UTM clinic as your example? It doesn't have any branch, right? So you need to be very sensible about choosing the correct business sectors, like retail stores, right? Kalau if you only have one store, can you do VPN? My question. No answer. Why cannot? Can. So that's why you have to remember that for VPN, okay, you also have remote access VPN, right? It's not necessarily site-to-site VPN. Agree or not? But anyhow, it's up to you what are the solutions that you want to propose. Because you need to understand that you need to cater up here teleworkers, employees, vendors, or client. So must have these 4 people. Okay, the VPN is for these 4 people, not only for employees. Bukan hanya untuk pekerja. Kalau awak ada satu je satu je kedai dan VPN tu untuk employee saja, untuk pekerja saja, so it doesn't satisfy this requirement. Understand or not? So even though you apply remote access VPN, but the remote access VPN must satisfy these 4 users: teleworkers, employees, vendors, or client. Okay, what is the difference between teleworkers and employees? The difference is employees is the one who stay in the office. Employees is the pekerja, right? Okay, workers. But usually employees stay in the office. But teleworkers is also employees, but they work from home. Okay. Okay, Wang asked, can we choose multiple type of VPN or we can only choose one out of 3 VPN? Yes, you can combine. Yes, you can combine your solution, but we will talk about that later, how, because I know you have difficulties you will have difficulty in answering. So I have done some example. So don't worry, we'll discuss. Vendor means supplier of the goods, right? Supplier. Like for example, you have the inventory system macam ni. Like UTM, right? So kalau if they buy some stuff from outsiders, so the vendor need to register. Okay, katalah pembekal. Vendor means pembekal servis ataupun barang. Supplier, vendor means supplier. Alright. So now I continue for here. The selected organization will be your case study to which you will apply what you have learned so far about White Arrow Network. While you may use your creativity to structure the case study, so I already give the templates with suggested heading. Better you just use this template lah. Senang. So actually, what you need to prepare is 2 things. First, the main. First is VPN planning checklist, and also second is topology design. So you have to prepare 2 things in the report. Okay, so let us look at the template one by one. First, you need to have title page. Like for example, VPN site-to-site VPN solution for UTM clinic, for example. Okay, right? So that's the title. And then the table of content. So the table of content, you will list down, like for example, the introduction, background, VPN planning checklist, topology design, and also summary. Okay, and reference. Next, what you need to have in background information, you need to summarize the business orientation. So what is the business orientation? Business orientation is, okay, listen very carefully. Business orientation means whether the business is non-profit or profit-oriented. Okay, and whether the type is service, they offer service, okay, or they offer goods. So you need to choose. Sebab apa? Because if, for example, business orientation is non-profit organization, like UTM. UTM is non-profit organization, the orientation, yeah. So because it's non-profit, so maybe the data being transferred differs, berbeza. It's different from the profit-oriented organization. like bank, profit oriented. So you need all of the information is sensitive data being transferred through the VPN tunnel, for example. The same goes to clinic. Okay, clinic even though it's non-profit, kalau clinic UTM is non-profit, but for the normal clinics is profit oriented, but the clinic deals with sensitive data as well. Health information is sensitive data. Okay, so those things you need to specify. So what happens when the data being transferred is sensitive? So you need to choose something that is highly secure. So you cannot use GRE lah for that kind of business. GRE tunneling, no security, right? No encryption. So cannot choose GRE tunneling for that kind of business. Okay? So I hope you get what I mean. But the Chua said that we can choose multiple type of VPN. You are correct. So maybe some part, there's some type of VPN you choose not to transfer non-sensitive data, and some other type of VPN is used to transfer the highly sensitive data. Okay. Now, this one need to be summarized in minimum of 100 words, right? And then the next thing you need to do, this is very important and contributes to the most of your marks, which is VPN planning checklist. For the VPN planning checklist, provide description that includes narrative section. So when I say narrative, you need to narrate. What is narrate? You need to saya pun tak tahu dalam bahasa Melayu apa. Narrate apa? Macam describe clearly lah macam tu. Okay? Mesti, I don't know, you faham ke masuk narrate ni? Narrate maksudnya you kena bercerita. Bukan mengecilkan skop, no. You kena bercerita, besarkan lagi ada lah. Maksudnya you kena describe in elaborate. You need to elaborate. You need to elaborate about each section in the checklist. Yes, Nazuha, yes, explain more. Simply put lah. So your description should include all items in planning checklist as shown in appendix B. So be sure to include the rationale. So rationale ni adalah justification. Why you are choosing this? Why you are choosing this solution? Why you are choosing this solution? Why? Rationale. Alright. Okay, yang last kali ni, this one I just want to remove it. Okay, it's not necessarily in table format. Okay, you need to write it in the written form. Okay, this one you ignore. You ignore this part. Okay, I forgot to remove it. So all description should be in text. Alright, not in table form. So can we look at the appendix B? So this is appendix B. Yes, so there are 8 items. So I have list one by one what you should do. So I hope the VPN checklist planning will help you. Okay? Okay, I hope this will help you to guide how to write the report. I think this is a very clear. I think, okay? But if you still think that is confusing, so you need to shout out for help, yeah? Ask me within this 1 week what it meant by certain clauses or certain phrase in the VPN checklist planning. Alright, so the first thing that you need to do is VPN project goal. Right, minimum of 3 project goals. What does it mean by project goals? For example, katalah, say for example, for UTM, right? So it's very hard for you to, the problem with UTM, currently with the pandemic, so you need to learn from home. Okay, you need to learn from home. And then it's very hard for you to access material, right? Okay, access material or do something lah with the resources in the university. I'm not quite sure what are the resources in the university that you want to access. Okay, so you were saying the first project goal is to optimize resource access, learning access or something. Tapi saya bagi jawapan ke tu? Tak plus tapi contoh lah, I give only one example lah. Like for example, it's hard for you to access books in university. So the university has offered, the library has offered e-book. So the e-book size is large. So you want to say that to allow better access to libraries, e-books in the libraries for students. For example, I don't know, this is a very messy project goals that I have just made, but I hope that you get the idea. You understand or not? And what else the goals that you can make to improve what reliability of data transfer, sensitive data transfer, for example, okay, or to cut costs. Of course, implement VPN requires more cost, but when you work from home, so you cut costs on aircon lah, you cut costs on lighting, electricity, right? So you cut costs there. So that's the project goal, for example lah. Okay, but I don't know, like for example, macam retail. Ada dekat atas ni, up here, there's a retail, right? Retail store. So, retail store, so people are scared to go out, right? So you need to access from home. So maybe you can use a VPN, okay, to help flourish the economic situation or the condition of the company that cannot open the shop 24 hours or cannot have maximum number of customers at one time, something, I don't know. I really don't know because I have not done the case study. It's supposed to be you lah. Alright. But I hope you get the idea. Okay. It need to be specific tailored to your business that you have chosen. Right. Second, VPN factors to support. So this one, because you already write your project goal, so it will relate to the second section. Like for example, just now I said to reduce cost, right? Because you're working from home. So here, identify minimum of 5 VPN factors to support incorporation of VPN. So this is relevant, right? So maksudnya to reduce cost. That's why these factors support your project goal. Okay, what is scalability? Scalability is to expand, menambah cawangan. You expand, you add more branch because you want to expand your company. So that's why you choose to implement VPN. Ataupun the current solution is not secure. So you know, I think and then you explain lah. And then VPN users and applications. Like for example, like UTM, who are the VPN users? Us, lecturers, because lecturers need to stay at home, students also need to learn from home, right? The vendors, so vendors cannot go to UTM, right? So how they want to access all the material or all the information? So need to use VPN. Alright, teleworkers, yeah. So for example, so you need to identify. And then you remember starting from section 3, okay, starting from section 3, you have to include the rationale. Okay, now nobody asked this, but I will answer. I will give this question. You might asking, what if there's no vendor? It's okay lah. So you rationalize. If the VPN is not meant for vendor, then that's it lah. You said it's only for customer, for example. Or for UTM, there's no customer. So there's only, but actually UTM has customer, which is you. Student is the customer. Alright? So you just need to rationalize lah. Alright? If you don't have 4, 5 type of users, oh fine. Okay, but the most important part is the employees lah. Alright? And then the type of VPN connection, whether it's site to site, remote access, GMVPN, okay? And then the network resources. Okay, because student want to access, for example, the library example that I have given before previously, right? Student want to access ebook. Okay, what can they access? Is it the servers or what? Is it a file? Right? Is this they can download some software application? Like for example, your multimedia lecturer, they know that you don't have access to the lab, so they provide software Photoshop, a pirate one lah, okay, to you. They cannot upload in the ULearn, alright? So you can access those software application, like for example, like or MATLAB, for example, because you are not in the lab, you cannot go to the lab. So you must have some mechanism to access those resources, isn't it? Lepas ni semua buat, after this everybody will do university. Okay, because it's more related. But you can do anything. There's no restriction. Okay, which business sector that you want to choose. And then VPN protocols. So basically for VPN, so you will have different protocols, like the one that we learn in the lab is GRE, the one that you do in the project is IPsec, but we also have other kind of protocol, SSL, L2VT, banyak protokol lain, okay? And then, okay, now you have VPN, right? But selain VPN is your solution, but currently in your company, what are the existing technology that already there? So that's number 7. Okay, say for example, you already have NAT, like in UTM, they already have NAT, ACL, DCP server already there, DNS. But what if nothing? Ada tak nothing? No, you cannot choose nothing. If you choose nothing, maksudnya there's no network environment at all in your company. Is it possible there's nothing? Yes, it's possible. Kedai runcit, maybe. Tak ada. No network. But kalau macam tu, it's pretty hard for you because you need to do everything from scratch. You understand or not? Okay. So basically, I don't choose appropriate business lah, right? At least like for example, like bank, they already have firewall, for example. Mesti ada firewall. Okay, mesti they already have DNS. DHCP, right? So you need to state, elaborate what are the technologies and how these technologies in the organization can support the incorporation of VPN. Okay, you have to explain that. And finally, okay, this one, number 8. Number 8 is not compulsory, but you must do it if necessary. I don't know whether you understand what I meant. If the data there or the data being transferred throughout the tunnel is not a sensitive information, so you actually do not really need a secure method or the VPN, right? But before you were saying that you don't need that, you need to justify. Is it really your company does not need those security techniques or security methods? You need to justify that first. If your company or the VPN solution needs some security methods, then you need to describe what are the authentication, what are the encryption. Okay, this one you already did it in project, but of course you do not know that you did it. I think some of you have noticed, sebagai contoh macam dalam in your project, when you want to write down the authentication, the type of authentication, you are using pre-shared key, right? But there are more than that. You can also use the CA server, right? To authenticate like encryption type. Yang ada you ada tulis TS, right? AES, that is encryption method. Hash, message type, MD5 technique, right? SHA-1, SHA-2. That one is the hash message type. So you already did this in your project, but you need to identify what is the suitable security method for your VPN tunnel solution. Okay, so now the second part is the topology design. Okay, once you already come up with your VPN checklist and search, so you need to draw in packet tracer. So you need to have minimum of 2 branches, the internet cloud and 1 headquarters location. And then you need to have the current your devices, server, switch, apa-apa lah, anything that is related to implementing your VPN, and identify where would you implement the VPN. So you know you can draw the tunnel, right? So you don't draw the tunnel from where to where. Is it side to side Okay, you need to remember, sebenarnya actually you don't really, you can also implement VPN on servers, right? Betul tak? So kalau you tak semesti, it's not necessary you implement VPN on routers. You also can implement VPN on servers. Okay, for those who already taken workshop 2, so they know lah. So you can either do on routers or you can do also on servers. So it's up to you. Alright. And summary, which must include a high-level statement of what you have achieved in the case study and also the reference. Okay, just give me 5 minutes that I want. Okay, wait a second. Okay, ada soalan tak tentang case study? Or is it clear enough? Or is it too much? Too much to handle. TMTH. Too much to process. Oh, tak, saya tak record. Saya tak record, Fikri. Sorry, saya terlupa. Speechless. Okay, Aiman, if you have recorded it, so you can share with your friends, yeah? The link or something. Okay, Chua. So we just draw the design packet traces, snap it and paste it in a report. No need to submit the packet tracer file, right? Yes, you are correct. No need. I just want the design. Right? You don't have to do configuration. Fair enough, right? You have scratch your head for the justification, rationale, whatnot. So I don't want to burden you more with the configuration. And it's only 15%. So yeah. Okay. Anything else? Need to label the devices in the packet tracer. Okay, wait. That one I will answer in rubric. I will present you with the rubric in a second. Dr. Min, kalau organisasi kita pilih tak ada vendor tak apa, but kena justify. Ya betul. Meaning, I don't know what kind of organisation that has no vendor. Ada ke organisasi tak ada vendor? Macam kalau klinik, if klinik, mesti ada pembekal ubat kan? Cuma soalan dia adalah sama ada vendor tersebut ada guna VPN ke tidak? Tu persoalannya. Perlu tak kita bagi dia guna VPN tu? Sebab organisation tu, selalunya most organisation mesti ada vendor. Kalau macam paling teruk pun, organisation tu mesti dia beli kertas lah nak print, kan? Mesti ada. Tapi macam 7E ada vendor. Contohnya ni, apa yang bekal-bekal barang tu vendor lah. Okay, teleworkers. Okay, macam contohnya 7E or 7E. 7E tu, we are talking about the franchise or the 7E yang manage. Which one that you want to talk about? Alright. So, if you were saying 7E yang manage, okay, the management side, because my brother open convenience store, okay, still he needs to manage the account, right? So the 7E is not necessarily only for cashier. The boss need to access to the account, the system, the POS system. POS system tu adalah point of sale system, the one yang dekat cashier tu. Yes, exactly. It means the boss will access from home. Those files may located in the servers in 7E itself. Kiranya, okay, user, I don't know who's user, but I just answer. Kiranya kat appendix B tu kena describe semualah setiap point yang dia nak tu. Ya. Saya akan terangkan sekejap lagi macam mana nak describe. Okay. Teleworkers mean people who are working from home. So macam like me right now, I am working from home, so I am teleworkers. Wong, we choose a specific company and assume that they don't have VPN previously? Yes, correct. Correct. So don't choose big one lah. Kalau you choose Petronas, of course they already have VPN solution. Am I right? So don't choose the big one. Okay, choose something that manageable lah, sebab if the bigger the company is, okay, the bigger the company is, the more branches they have, Alright, it's very hard for you to actually draw the network topology. Cannot choose TM? Can if you know the network topology. Okay, I think what you are trying to ask is, can we choose imaginary company? Am I right or not? Okay, maksudnya imaginary company, right? Okay, it's like Mio company. Okay, contohnya Mio company ataupun Mio kedai basikal. Contohnya lah, right? Yes, you can. I will allow imaginary company because of course but ya, bukan fakta. But you need to be very precise on your description of the company. You understand? Because for me, when I assess whether the requirement of the VPN solution is correct or not, first that I would think of is how many workers. Second is the size of the company, how many branches. And third, what are the users that need to access to the resources in the company. Okay, so ini semua berkait. What are the resources, what are the users, okay, what are the size of the company. Itu yang very important, not the company itself. I hope you understand. So I will accept imaginary like me, like if Mio kedai basikal, can also you can put your imaginary company there, but the description must be very precise, not detailed, precise. Precise means the information is enough for me to assess that, oh, this is the correct solution for this kind of company. Sebab kalau you letak imaginary, I need to imagine as well. You have to remember that. Kalau you letak contohnya UTM, I already know the business in and out. So I would, even if you are lacking in explaining the company, I still understand what kind of company it is. I hope that my answer satisfies you. Okay? So what else? Okay, that's all. Okay, can I proceed with the rubric now? Okay, I proceed with the rubric. So can you see the rubric? Right, so this is the rubric for the case study. I will not upload rubric in the ULEN. I will only upload the question because nobody put rubric. Okay, this is my guideline, not your guideline. But for this briefing, I will show the rubric. Okay. So for the weekend plan, yes?
Rubrik tak nampak Doktor.
Rubric tak nampak?
Tak nampak apa-apa kat skrin.
Oh, sorry. Share screen. Okay? Boleh Okay. So this is the rubric. So the rubric is, we have two parts. So the most marks given to the VPN planning checklist, which is 80 marks. Ni per je lah. Okay. After all, it will be converted into 15%. And then topology design, 45%. And then the report writing itself, 25%. Okay, report writing is not that, 25%. I besarkan, okay. The report writing doesn't mean that, only 25%. So I can write sikit je markah dia. It's only a fraction of the marks. No. Report writing mostly concerns on the format and the organization of the report, not the actual content of the report. The total marks is 150. So first I will go to the VPN planning checklist. So if you look in here, I already cater the Bloom's taxonomy cognitive level C4 and above, C3 and above. Okay. So the main element here is the main element in the VPN planning checklist. So you have 8 items, right? So you have 8 items. So this 25 marks is about describing the items. So if any of you, like you have 8 items, right? So you have 8 items, but you only write about 3 items in the checklist. So your mark will be something around here. Okay? But if you write most of the items, so this one saya tak tengok, I did not look at the critical thinking analyze, no. As long as you write about all of the items, so I will give 20 to 35. So it's very easy to get 25 actually. Okay? Right. The next is, because this one is apply C3, okay. The next is integration and application. So you need to understand that VPN, you have to integrate between different technologies, right? So if no integration, so no point. So when you apply the VPN, so you need to correctly apply. Okay, contoh, example like this. Like for example, the company does not have branch, but you need to remember, minimum you have 2 branches, right? But suppose that you just want to combine, and then say for example, your solution is you write the elements, the items, you explain, but it is not the correct solution. So basically, you get 25, but for the integration part, you get this 0 to 4. You understand or not? So even though you describe something, does not mean you describe it or you apply it correctly. You understand or not? I hope you understand, right? Okay, so this one is 10 marks. And then you need to analyze, provide in-depth analysis that complete understanding of multiple concepts. You cannot just have a single-minded or narrow-minded way of analyzing stuff. And then build up upper layer, okay, you need to give some conclusion. You need to give some conclusion that, this is the best. Why? Because of why? So kat sini conclusion, critical thinking. Yang this one just compare with current technologies. Yeah. This one is apply. This one is justify. Alright, this one is just explain this, right? Okay. And then, of course, those justification, somehow you cannot come up from your head alone, right? You need to find another resources. So basically, the more you study, the more you research, so you will incorporate with other sources as well. So you need to do citation. This is where citation is important. Right. So any question on the VPN planning checklist rubric? So no question on the rubric for the VPN planning checklist, right? So I will continue with the topology design. So for the topology design, the evaluation is you must specify, put the network hardware. Apa network hardware diperlukan, already said you have to put the routers, switches, servers, and then network cabling, right? Proper network cabling. So if, like for example, if you have routers, few routers, so of course you need serial cable instead of UTP. So need to select proper network cabling. Okay, next, network services. Network services shouldn't provide proper coverage of various network services. Okay, for network services, it's basically refer back to the checklist here. So you need to refer back to here. Technology currently in use, right? So you have the NAT, ACL, DCT, DNS. So this is the services, right? DNS, DCT is the services. Or like for example, the company has website, right? So web server, for example. So those are the services that you can put. And then propose VPN placement. Okay, this is where you draw the tunnel. Okay. And then labels. You need to labels. No label, 0 mark. Complete labeling, 5 marks. Okay, this one 5 sorry 5 because the top marks is 5. Okay, and finally the report writing. So you have the writing format citation. If there's no error in grammar, okay, the citation, okay, and then report content. If you follow my report organization, I don't think you will have problem in organization, okay, and then reference, okay. So the total mark is 150. This will be reduced into 15 marks at the end of the day. Alright, so that's all for the rubric. Any question on the rubric? You can just turn on your video, ask directly, or you can write on the chat section. Speechless again? Okay, do you have any question, guys? Okay, Wang asked, how is the topology look like? I can't imagine. It's like the project. The project, right? So dalam project tu, in the project is the UTM topology, right? So that's how the topology look like. Then you draw the tunnel between the main campus router to the GSFU router. So that's how it looks like lah. It's pretty hard for you to imagine because you haven't chosen the organization yet. Once you have chosen your organization, you might have better idea of how the topology will look like. In my opinion, if you want to do the case study, it's better that you draw the topology first rather than do the VPN checklist. Okay, what any other questions? Okay, so Irfan asked, wait. Okay, Irfan asked, so let's say I pick McDonald's restaurant from my local area, so need to draw the topology that is connected to the HQ, right? To answer this question is very tricky because I hope that I don't give the wrong answer. But Irfan, this is your case study. You need to understand that McDonald's is a franchise, right? It's a franchise restaurant. So because it is franchise restaurant, so do you want to research the relationship between the McDonald's in your local area with the HQ, or you want to improve the local McDonald's restaurant only? I hope you understand what I meant. Because both, faham ke Irfan? Saya faham yang maksud awak ni sebab you think that McDonald's they have HQ, right, headquarters. So you want to draw the topology between your McDonald's restaurant in your local area with the HQ, right? So if that's what you are trying to do, you are actually trying to solve problem of the HQ, not the local area. The McDonald's restaurant in your local area. You understand or not what I'm saying? So what do you want to solve actually? It goes back to the project goal. Okay. So I hope that I answer your question, Irfan. Now the next question is, lagi sekali madam pasal net service. Net service yang mana user 3:34 PM ni? Net, lagi sekali pasal net service tu apa maksud dia? Saya tak kurang faham. You write down again your question. From Nur Aisyah, doktor macam mana nak tahu previous technologies for organization kita pilih? Ke kita stay ecology? Okay. Doktor organisation kalau sama dengan orang lain boleh ke? Okay. Awak sengaja sama ke? Tak sengaja sama. Chances untuk sama tu sebenarnya tak sengaja. Okay lah, contohnya ada orang buat UTM, somebody doing UTM, and then you are doing UTM and somebody else are doing UTM because it's so convenient of you, you are UTM student. Yes, it might be similar, same lah, but the answer should be different, right? Tak sengaja is okay, I won't penalize for tak sengaja because at the end of the day, I will check for plagiarism. So even though you are doing the same organization, but which chances I believe is less than 5%, but the report will be go through plagiarism checker, so I hope that you are aware of that. Okay. Doktor macam mana? Ni dah. Okay. Do we need to design layout our company? I don't understand, Zarif. What do you mean by do we need to design layout of our company? You need to just design the network topology. Design layout of our company, what does it mean by that? Is it a floor plan or what? No need floor plan. Just topology, right? Like for example, if the company has 100 workers, you don't have to draw 100 PCs, no. You just state, okay, buat like draw this one PC but draw 100 users, something like that. Okay. Anything else? Okay, I think there's no more questions. If you have questions, I hope that you will use, okay, there's more. Must have ISP in our topology? Yes. Yes. Service provider, yes. But you also don't know how many ISP, right? So just use the obvious one lah. Okay? Just use the obvious one. Because that what when you have ISP, that is what separated you from private and public network. So usually what we did is we will have the internet cloud. Usually what we draw is not ISP. We will draw the internet cloud. You see dalam packet tracer tu there's internet cloud, right? So when you go through, when the internet network go through the internet cloud, it means that there's a public network. So those VPN users are separated through the public cloud. Okay? No IP for each needed kan, doktor. As of now, you don't have to pay LSM or anything. No. IP address, no, you don't have to. I think I would say that it's more to the physical design rather than the logical design. Okay, physical design rather than the logical design. I think you already learned what is physical and logical. Logical is the one with the IP address and such. So physical, the location of the devices, right? Okay. So, any other questions? So I hope that will be it. So I really hope that if you have more questions, you should write your question in WhatsApp group so that you can share the question with your friend. I know because so first because when there's too many questions personally, so I'm lost with your WhatsApp. So I don't know which one I have answered, which one I don't answer yet. So it's pretty hard for me to keep up. So if you have further questions, just write your question on the WhatsApp group so that everybody will, you will share the question with everybody else, and I will share the answer with everybody else as well. Okay, so I would say that from the project, even though I give the motivation talk earlier in this briefing or in this class, but in actuality, most group did well. Okay, most group did well. I mean, in comparison with previous years, okay, this is one of the best cohort lah that I have in this year. In sepanjang throughout I teach, sepanjang saya mengajar di subjek. Okay, so that shows that you guys have a good effort. Alright, so I hope that you will keep the effort and excel in the final assessment. Okay, so with that, I will end this session. Okay, good luck for your case study and also final test, and don't forget to study before the final test. Okay, thank you everyone for listening. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Okay.
Doktor, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Doktor.
All right.